big toe ball mound down to the floor. Because typically we get really heavy when we walk out to the outer edge of the foot, and that causes a lot of ankle issues, knee issues, hip issues, back issues, because guess what, it's all connected. Thank goodness it's all connected. Yeah. So now try both heels up and down. Up and down. Yeah. Still sitting tall, still with the shoulders back, still breathing. Part of the alive process. That whole breathing thing. Yeah, but notice what you're feeling in the legs, right? Do you feel a little bit of heat? Maybe you feel it in your feet, maybe you feel it in your legs. And I have to say that, you know, the muscles and the flexibility and the strength in the feet, if we start to have issues in the feet, that does not go away. Has anybody had the plantar fasciitis? It's pretty gnarly, right? It's pretty gnarly. Yeah, so we don't want to have to deal with that. Glad you're here. Sorry that happened. Yeah. So how is that? Is that feeling pretty good on your feet? So it may seem like a little over the top, but how about, could we put the top of our toes or the top of our foot down? Yeah, I would say just one, and just kind of like wiggle the foot around. Yeah, just like the top of your foot down. It's kind of like this for your foot. Yeah, top of your toes, top of your foot. What do you think? Does that feel good? For a lot of people that's really intense. Yeah. So try it on the other. You know what's really nice is in the springtime, when the earth is kind of getting nice and warm, to just out in the grass. It's a little bit more forgiving. Good connection to have to the good old earth. She's always there for us, right? Yeah. So that's a nice one too. Stretch out the toes, stretch out the feet. Because we need, you know, a lot of people go, oh, your yoga teacher, oh, twister, foot behind the head, the big joke. You know, but for me, yoga is about strength and flexibility. Because flexibility is like an elastic band. And I've been that elastic band and torn this thing and that thing. And so you need some strength, alignment, good flexibility. All right, so stand down on your feet and just take a breath. And maybe they feel like a little different. Hopefully you feel them. All right? Hopefully you feel them. So how about this? Can we just come up into standing? So again, as we stand, just kind of like a cat kind of clawing at the, whatever it claws at, whatever they claw at, carpets or something. Like just kind of like feel your feet on the ground, like get into your feet. Yeah. Good old feet, getting us around. Hey, they're there. Right? And as you lift and lower the feet, like feel, you can move the toes, you can bend the knees, like some motion in the body. This is your body. I want you to love it. Alright? So then look down at the feet and stand them like a good distance away from each other. Not like sumo distance, but like a good enough distance that you can feel down into your feet to bend the knees. And then could I ask you to just look at the feet? So we've got a pretty nice little guide here of the carpet, these squares. If you can see some of the line work, so the feet could actually be parallel to each other. So the outer edges of the feet could be parallel to each other. So that typically is toes in and heels out a little bit. And then if you stand tall and you take the shoulders back and take a couple of breaths, my bet, and I'm not a gambler, but my bet is that this feels really weird. It feels really bizarre. Like it feels like you're pointing your toes in big time. Like that's usually what I feel like. I mean, I hear is what people feel like. All right? So here, bend the knees, lift the toes, lower the toes. And I brought in a couple little props that are good go-tos. So I invested in these cork blocks. They are fantastic. So just imagine that you had this block between your legs and you could give it a squeeze. Does anybody want to really try it? Like real life, try it? She wants to try it. All right, so then when you're done trying it, pass it to your friend with the cake back there. So she's going to put it between her thighs. She's going to give it a little squeeze and feel her feet. So we could replicate that. We could take our hands, your body, you give it a grab if you're up for it. Hands to the inner thighs. All right, so press your thighs in and let your hands give a little bit of resistance. But then let's consider, now we've done this, now we kind of hunch. Take the shoulders back and try to stretch the ribs and the chest forward. And you might want to squeeze your butt a little bit. Just a little bit. You like that one, huh? Toes up and toes down. All right, take one more breath. So the legs are squeezing in and the hands are giving a little bit of resistance. As you take the shoulders back and you lift your toes and you lower your toes. Who knew there was so much to think about, right? And you can squeeze your butt and you can smile. All right, so let's just stand up for a second. box, baby. Anybody else? Real time. Give it a squeeze, unless you want to visit me at my booth and squeeze it then. All right, just a couple of breaths. Just circle the hips around. Just circle them around. So we feel grounded, shoulders are open. How are you feeling good?
Yep.
Yeah. Little zing of energy as you head into your day. So keep drinking water throughout the day. Smile, have some fun, and I hope that you'll visit our booth. So you can go ahead if you want to put your shoes back on. So my approach is a therapeutic approach where it's not all about the poses. It's much more about like moving and aligning the body. We might eventually get to a pose, but I just want you to feel good and keep doing all the stuff that you want to do, right? So in addition to that, I also get massage. I pretty much get therapeutic massage every week because life is busy and, oh, you like the sound of that, right? Figure that one out for the budget. Well worth it. Hey, nobody else is doing it for me. So we do have a yoga board. We've got the therapeutic. I do one-on-one with people. We do classes. We got therapeutic massage. We got Reiki. But it's all about this. It's all about just like being calm and being present. So don't come to us looking for Zumba or asking to flip tires because we're not doing that. We want you to like slow down, you know? Because I do think a lot of people, they hit those decade markers and they want to keep moving, but they don't want to do it. I don't want to run anymore. I'm done running personally. That's just me. Like I used to be like up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go for a run. No. Now I just lay in bed and I stretch. I'm like, this is like a cat's life. Yeah. All right. Well, is that our time?
You have about 5 minutes.
All right. I mean, does anybody want to ask me anything or how do you feel? Like, how did that, you feeling good? 1 out of 5 stars, like what do I get? Do I get 5 stars? Or 5 stars. Yeah. Thank you. Well, you get 5 stars right back. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, sure.
Is there anything you can do stretch-wise for lower back?
Yeah, so that I'm glad that you asked that because I was rear-ended a year ago and I do a lot of stuff for low back. That's primarily why I've been getting the therapeutic massage once a week. Actually, is what led me to that. We think we need to stretch, but what I find is a lot of times I need to do. I'm glad you're the person that grabbed the block. I have to actually work the legs a lot and work a lot of core stuff, like on the stomach, like that kind of. I mean, we could talk some more about it, but I'm glad that you mentioned that because for a while there I was trying to stretch it out and nothing was working. And now, like literally every day I got to get up and I just work some leg stuff, like what we just did with the block, building strength to build stability to support the back. It probably needs to stretch, but it's a combination of strengthening and stretching with good alignment is what I find is most important. So we've got some good specials today at our booth, so if you want to come, sign up for something. Yeah, good question though. So I did bring in the class schedule and I brought in the flyer about the studio, but I mean if you want to visit the booth, it's there as well. Yeah, you got a question?
Do you just only work with adults?
Primarily, I have a group, I call them the kids. They come to me from Middletown once a week. They're kind of all different, like one is deaf and some like Down syndrome, like they're just kind of all over the board, different abilities. I've worked with kids, but like I feel like my wheelhouse is really like helping adults that like we all get out of whack and then just getting them back into alignment. I've worked with everybody. I've worked with like 4-year-old kids on the spectrum to like 94-year-olds that have never done yoga and now they're like in love with it. So I personally can do that, but we don't necessarily have like classes for that. The classes are geared towards adults, for sure. But teenagers and we have like 11-year-olds that come, but yeah, I hope that answered your question. Yeah, well, love the body you were born with, you deserve it. There you go, class video. Have fun today, have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.